Hi guys, this is Duke Doom, and well, it's been a weird year, I guess you can say. I've been doing a lot of paintings and not so many YouTube videos, unfortunately, but yeah. Anyway, since it's drawing to a close of the year 2021, I wanted to make, and here's Nasse here, hi baby, and I wanted to do a little list or some kind of, well, I'm watching a lot of movies, you know, I'm a movie freak, film freak, I just adore movies, mostly horror films, but also like, well, I pretty much like all kind of movies. I'm not too fond of like romantic comedies and stuff like that, but other than that, pretty much everything goes. And I have a kind of like a deep love for movies from the 70s and 60s and 80s, especially Italian or Euro horror movies. But anyway, I made a little list that I would like to call the worst, most disappointing / the best movies I watched this year, 2021. So, and there's gonna be spoilers. So, okay, come on, man. I'm in my bed recording this, by the way. And the dog will want to come under the covers here. Okay, so yeah, there's gonna be spoilers in this list review, I don't know what to call it exactly. So be warned for movies which came out during 21. And I want to start with the worst 2021 movies that I've seen this year. And it's like no specific order. Or well, no, it's no specific order. So, I want to start with one movie that I didn't really have any anticipation for at all, but I watched it, and it was Dune with Oscar Isaac, I think. You know, I've tried to watch it 4 times and I fall asleep every time, and I usually don't fall asleep on movies, and it's so boring. It's a beautiful movie, but it's like they kind of made a movie where you have to really know about, like, read books and shit, I guess, because I just found it, or it's just a completely uninteresting story. It's grand, you know, and everything is so serious. Oh, Jason Momoa is in it also, among others. I didn't like it. I have given up of ever watching it to the completion. I think I watched like 80% of it, but I just can't. After that, A Quiet Place Part 2. Part 1 was mildly entertaining because it was kind of like something new, you know, with the you can't make a sound. But the second one was just how these people have been able to stay alive for like a week is beyond me, because they do so many stupid mistakes all the time. There's so many plot holes. I just didn't like it. I actually didn't like it at all. The next one is Venom, Let There Be Carnage. Now, this movie I didn't hate. I was kind of mildly entertained by it, but it was just, oh, it's over. So this would actually be in the next category, which I call did not hate or love. It was just Venom fighting with some one-liners. The next one that I had high hopes for was a horror movie called Deep House, which is the first ghost house movie taking place underwater, which sounds pretty awesome. Turned out it wasn't at all awesome. It was boring, and as I said, this is a spoiler list thing. Everybody dies. Had no point. You know, you see the last surviving girl, there are only 2 victims in the movie. The guy dies, the girl struggles to get to the surface, and you really vote for her to, but she dies. And it's just over. It sucked. Next one is also a one that I can say I didn't hate, but I didn't love it either. I just find it unremarkable. And that was Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It, the third one in the Conjuring series. It was just, I don't know, it didn't have any like payoff. Now I like Vera Farmiga and Patrick Wilson as the charlatans Warren, but other than that, you know, it was just treading old water. Now we can yeah. The last one, and this movie I actually hated for different reasons that the other ones that was just pure bad, and it's Ghostbusters Afterlife. I've never been slapped in my face so hard by a movie that I have been waiting for. Well, maybe the Star Wars sequels, but you know, the trailers, I was worried that it was going to be a Stranger Thing kind of movie with Ghostbusters slapped on, and I was pretty much right. The movie's underwhelming. It's full of idiotic things, like the kids driving through like a small town destroying everything, and there's like no consequences. They find these high-tech stuff, and they just automatically know how to use them, and it's like forced fan shit in it, you know, with the Easter eggs and stuff that's just right on your nose. And as I feared, the Ghostbusters show up for like 3 minutes in the end. Now, I know it's not called Ghostbusters 3, so hopefully I'm just talking shit. We're never gonna get a Ghostbusters Part 3 that centers on Dan Aykroyd, Bill Murray, and Ernie Hudson. Never. We're never gonna get that. Closest we got was the video game, I guess. So I hated Ghostbusters Afterlife. I will never see it again, because it was such a slap in the face for me and people like me who really love the original Ghostbusters. And in the beginning I kind of like, yeah, this is awesome, you know, it's have all these Easter eggs, but what I was gonna say, or fan. Never mind, it's late in the night. But instead they gave us this, kid-friendly, you know, the old Ghostbusters movies were no horror films. There were no Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but they had like a frightening atmosphere sometimes. It had some adult jokes in it, like the ghost giving Dan Aykroyd a blowjob. You know, it had edge. This one is just made for kids. When it was, when we thought it was going to be made for those of us who loved the movies in the 80s. Nope. Just throw in some Stranger Thing kids, because that's popular right now, and then put in some Ghostbusters. And for God's sake, don't make a new script. Take the ending from the first one and just slap it in there, complete with lines, everything. Yeah, so that's the biggest fucking shit this year. Now I have some movies that I did not hate, but I really loved. Where are those? Oh, there we are. There we are. Alright, so I'm gonna start with a movie called Oxygen. It's a movie about a woman who wakes up in a hospital in a hospital with a limited amount of oxygen, and she has to find out why she's in the pod and who put her there, because she has no memories, and it's claustrophobic. It's really nerve biting, and this is a spoiler thing. I don't really know if I want to spoil this one. I'm not gonna spoil this one. Just watch it. It's called Oxygen, and it's a really, really twisted ending on this one. The next one is Malignant. I know some people don't like it. They feel it's like a slow movie, but for me, who like old giallos like Dario Argento's movies or Lamberto Bava or Umberto Lenz and stuff like that, for me it was kind of like a flashback to old giallo movies with a black gloved killer, and and this ending is just totally bonkers. I loved it. So yeah. Then we have Suicide Squad, the remake, sequel, I don't know. I loved it. It was a rock and roll right through, there were no breaks. It just kept going, and I had a hell of a time, and it was gory and funny. And yeah, Suicide Squad. And the next one is, I know it has divided some of the horror fans, but it's Halloween Kills. And this comes from someone who was never really a Michael Myers fanboy. I always liked Freddy Krueger, Jason, Leatherface. I always thought Michael Myers movies were a bit boring, sad to say. This had what I expected from a slasher movie, but it was more brutal than I remembered any of the older Halloween movies. So I liked this one. I never got bored. I thought it was well acted. It had practical special effects, some stupid moments, but say the movie that doesn't have stupid moments. Even the Seventh Seal have some. Yeah, I like that one. And then one I saw just recently, which is called Last Night in Soho, and it's Edgar Wright who has made it, and it is a slow movie. It's a movie where you can think a little bit and take time to relax, and it's gorgeously shot with a lot of vivid colors. This movie was, sorry, I have paint everywhere, by the way. I really like that. Last Night in Soho, it's kind of like a ghost, time travel, alternate reality, mind fuck. I just liked it. Then we have another balls to the wall action movie or whatever, and that's Godzilla vs. Kong. I liked it a lot. It was funny. It had a lot of action scenes. You could turn off your brain and leave it. Also, I'm gonna say these lists are pretty much movies that I know most people know about. So I'm not picking some weird shit up that I found that only one person have seen, and I have tried to not include Swedish movies if they were not big hits abroad. There's a documentary that's called I väntan på Jan Myrdals död. We are waiting for Jan Myrdal to die. Which is a documentary, super funny, but also realistic. Never mind. But I won't put that here. I just take movies that most people know about. So yeah. Where were I? Where was I? Like King Kong, blah blah blah. And the last one, best I've seen this year, No, it's not the last one, but it's the best last one, and that's Candyman. The reimagining. It's not a remake; it's a sequel. I think it doesn't take part 2 or 3 Day of the Dead in account, so it's continuation from Candyman 1, but set in our time. Our time, and it, like I said, Ghostbusters Afterlife didn't pay any respect to us fans. I think this one did. It follows the lore set up by the first Candyman, and it has Tony Todd in a small cameo, but he's in it, and yeah, I liked it. It had a down-to-earth feel that I really liked. Now these are like I said, I don't hate this one and I don't love them, but they are from 2021, and I watched them hoping they will be better. The first one is a vampire movie called Night Fangs, which had what's her name? She's in Transformers. Megan Fox in a small, don't watch it for her, role. And it was pretty decent. I was entertained, but I didn't like it that much. I didn't hate it. Then we have Jeffrey Morgan, is that his name? Who plays like... shit, I should really have researched this video before I play it, but never mind. Who plays Negan in The Walking Dead, yeah, that's his name. The Unholy, which I thought were pretty forgettable, but it was fun while it lasted. Didn't love it, didn't hate it. It was, no, okay. And the final one is Spiral from the Book of Saw. I had hard time accepting Chris Rock in this serious role. I know he jokes around a lot in this movie too, but it felt a little bit too far-fetched. I just saw like Madagascar before I watched this one, so I can only hear him as the he's not the giraffe, he's the, I don't know. You have seen Madagascar, you know it's a cartoon. It's a I'm really tired. So yeah, it was pretty decent. I love the last part of it when they're like the carnage and they play the theme song from Saw, and yeah, it was okay. It won't win any Oscars or anything, but it was decent enough. So there you have it. I was hoping to watch Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City before I did this video. And another movie that I came up with right now that I should have included. No Time to Die. I like James Bond, as they usually were, as they used to be. Like a fantasy action thing where you can just let your brain disconnect for a while. You knew the hero was gonna survive. He got all the babes, all the cool gadgets, had all the one-liners. I really never liked Daniel Craig's Bond. It was like any other spy thriller shit. Too serious. I like, Sean Connery was also a bit, which is my favorite Bond by the way, was also a bit on the serious side, but it was a little bit cheeky and, had some fun stuff in them. I didn't like Daniel Craig, but that's beside the point. And spoiler, don't say I didn't warn you, you do not fucking kill off James Bond. I don't give a shit if it's the last movie that Craig is gonna do. You didn't kill off Roger Moore, you didn't kill off Timothy Dalton, you didn't kill off George Lazenby, and you definitely didn't kill off Sean Connery. You don't kill Bond in a Bond movie, that's just the way it is. And it wasn't especially good Bond movie for the matter either, it was pretty bad, really. So yeah, put that on the list together with Ghostbusters and the other shit that I've seen this year. Alright. That's it. This video became longer than I expected. There's been some good television series too this year. Chucky, for instance. I loved Chucky. It was a pretty good and decent series. And The Day of the Dead. It had paid homage to Romero in a way that I liked and shit like that. It was decent. Have a nice day, night, wherever you are in the world. Remember, there can't be any light without darkness, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.